It's September 21st, 2021, and this is the new Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel. And what exactly is new, you may ask? Well, the wall behind me is now bluish gray. Everything else is just the same old crap. It was a bad, terrible, no good week for President Joe Biden. A Fox News poll of registered voters believes the country is less united under Biden. ABC's John Carl said the public is losing faith in Biden. And NBC's Chuck Todd said Biden's credibility, much like Chuck Todd's hair, is eroding fast. Todd should adopt a proven comb-over technique, as I have done. In a speech detailing the new nuclear submarine pact with Britain and Australia, Joe Biden forgot the name of the Australian Prime Minister. But to be fair to Joe Biden, you don't know his name either. Or do you? Leave your answer in the comments section below and you could win something amazing and very, very, very cheap. The U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency says that Al-Qaeda could again threaten the U.S. within 1 to 2 years. Although, now with everyone working from home, they're going to need a lot more planes. Prince Charles's charity is facing tough questions over donations linked to a Taiwanese arms deal. In an effort to shift focus away from this controversy, Charles wants to remind everyone this scandal is nowhere near as bad as his brother having sex with underage girls. Allegedly. More than 10,000 Haitian immigrants will be sent home after trying to pass under a bridge in Texas. Apparently, not a single one of them could solve the trolls' riddle. The U.S. Border Patrol wants to free up its overworked agents by hiring civilians to essentially do the paper-pushing admin work its agents can't do. According to the Associated Press, that work includes making sure microwaved burritos are served properly. Now, we here at Sketchworks NewsBrake thought that was a joke until we obtained this exclusive surveillance video from a U.S. Border Patrol break room.
All right, looks good. Hey, which one of you had the bean burrito?
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez attended the $30,000 per person Met Gala wearing a dress that said, "Tax the rich." She then stole a sandwich from a homeless man and told him to feed the poor. You can tell who the poor people are because they're the ones required to wear masks at rich celebrity events. Alabama's Secretary of State, the man in charge of that state's elections, held a meeting with MyPillow salesman turned election conspiracy theorist Mike Lindell to talk about election security. Next, Alabama's Secretary of Health plans to meet with competitive eater Joey Chestnut to talk about healthy eating habits like portion control. The Guardian newspaper in the UK named Dr. Anthony Fauci the sexiest man alive. What? And note, if you do have sex with him, he says you don't have to wear a condom. Well, now you should wear one. Okay, vaccinated people don't have to wear one. Okay, now vaccinated people should wear one. But he'll make an exception if it's outdoors. The British Court of Appeals has ruled doctors can prescribe puberty-blocking drugs, which postpones puberty in preteens. The only side effect of postponing puberty is your kids will be living in your basement well into their 40s. Boeing predicts a big demand for new airliners in a post-pandemic world. Now, what Boeing doesn't realize is that we will never reach a post-pandemic world. This is who we are now. This is the new normal. Well, unless you're rich or a politician or a celebrity. LeVar Burton says he no longer wants to be Jeopardy's next host. In his words, "It wasn't the thing I wanted after all." Burton plans to audition for another game show, only to lose out to the show's executive producer, who will then be fired a week later for being a sexist moron. Chris Rock announced he has COVID. The comedian tweeted, "You don't want this." The same can be said of another Grown Ups sequel. Rolling Stone magazine updated their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Number 3 is Sam Cooke's "A Change Is Gonna Come." Number 2, "Fight the Power" by Public Enemy. And the new greatest song of all time, "Little Miss Can't Be Wrong" by the Spin Doctors. Congratulations, everyone. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao has announced he is running for president of the Philippines. Ha! Confused you for a second there, didn't I? Inspired by Pacquiao's announcement, Mike Tyson has announced he is running for president of Las Vegas. Speaking of Sin City, a Spirit airline flight from Las Vegas to Pittsburgh was delayed when the plane got a flat tire. Passengers were then charged $40 each to pay for a new set of tires, balance, and alignment. Eddie Deason, the actor who played the nerdy Eugene Felsnick in Grease, is accused of throwing food at sheriff's deputies when he refused to leave a Maryland restaurant. D's nuts? Yes. Yes, he is. And speaking of Greece, our lawsuit against the rights holders of Greece is finally in the home stretch. And I want to say a few things about the other side's lawyers. First of all, On Friday, firefighters in Pueblo, Colorado rescued a dog and 3 people from a lake. Originally, there were 4 people, but the dog got hungry. A Virginia woman will spend 12 years in prison for running one of the biggest counterfeit coupon scams in U.S. history. She was originally supposed to get 6 years, but the judge honored her serve 1 sentence, get the second one free coupon. A potential listeria contamination is forcing Baker farms to recall their packages of kale. This does not affect the scores of people like me who already treat kale like it's contaminated. I'd almost rather have sex with Dr. Fauci than eat kale. Almost. A lost 17th century Italian Baroque painting, missing for 60 years, has been located in New Rochelle, New York at a Catholic church. Interpol would like to question Sister Mary Teresa Sticky Fingers. Staying in the Empire State, a man in New York became the first person to ride to every city bike station in the city. If you'd like to meet him in person, he's the guy with extremely large thighs. In South Africa Friday, swarms of bees killed at least 63 endangered penguins. But the bees are also endangered, so it all evens out, I guess. Researchers at Purdue, the university, not the chicken company, have developed the world's whitest paint. The color has already been named the official paint of Portland, Oregon. A man was arrested in Kentucky for shooting outside his hotel window, claiming he was shooting at aliens. Which is clearly crazy, because if aliens do visit Earth, their first stop isn't gonna be Kentucky. I mean, let's be real. Al Capone's former South Florida home is scheduled to be demolished. The nearly century-old home suffers from water damage, a cracked foundation, and syphilis. Much like me. Samuel Adams plans to release a beer that's so strong it's illegal in 15 states. The Utopia's beer comes with a 28% alcohol content, a $240 price tag, and the smug satisfaction of someone who could have bought 2 bottles of Mad Dog 2020 and gotten just as wasted for a fraction of the price. You know, this reminds me that I am way behind on my drinking. So that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. Tell her I'll be over after a few of these.
I've been a whole lot easier since the bitch left town.